Here's what most men don't realize. The moment you ignore her call, her mind doesn't stay silent. It begins racing, questioning and searching for answers. Because to her, a call isn't just a call, why, it's a signal. A request for your presence, your attention, your validation. And when you don't answer, that signal suddenly goes unanswered, leaving her with an uncomfortable void she has to fill. Ignoring a woman's call isn't just a missed connection. It sends a message louder than words. It whispers that your time is valuable, that your world doesn't revolve around her, that you move on your own terms. And what happens inside her head when you do this might surprise you, because the silence you give often speaks louder than anything you could have said. A lot of men struggle with this exact situation. If they answer her calls right away, they worry they'll look too eager. But if they don't pick up, they feel guilty or scared that she'll get upset or lose interest. That's why so many men end up confused. They don't know what the right move is. You've probably felt this before. Checking your phone, seeing her name, and suddenly feeling stuck. Should I answer? Should I wait? What if she thinks I don't care? This back and forth leaves you frustrated, and sometimes it even makes you act in ways you regret. But here's the key. How she reacts when you don't answer isn't random. It follows a pattern. And if you understand that pattern, you'll finally see what she really thinks when you ignore her call. Let's break down the psychological stages that unfold. First, she notices your absence. She calls and you don't pick up. She texts and your response is delayed. This isn't a flaw in her character. It's an innate part of female psychology. Human beings are wired to test the boundaries of those we are interested in. She wants to see if you are a man who is so easily swayed by her attention that you'll drop everything. This is a subtle test of your self-sovereignty. She's not just calling you. She's calling to see if your world revolves around her. This is where it gets interesting. When you don't immediately respond, you create a psychological phenomenon known as the curiosity gap. Her mind begins to fill the void. What is he doing? Who is he with? Is he busy? Why didn't he answer? This isn't about jealousy. It's about the innate human need to solve a puzzle. She's not mad at you. She's intrigued by your independence. You've become an unpredictable variable in a world where men are often predictable in their pursuit. Then, the most crucial stage begins. As her curiosity grows, she starts to reevaluate your value. A man who is always available, always on call, signals one thing: a lack of purpose, a lack of his own life. But a man who is grounded in his own mission, a man who is too focused to be immediately available, signals high value. In her mind, she is not thinking, "He doesn't want me." She is thinking, "He has a life that doesn't depend on me." This is a profound shift from thinking she is the center of your universe to realizing she is simply a part of it. Finally, your silence earns you something more valuable than any conversation could. It earns you her respect. Women are instinctively drawn to men who have a strong sense of self-worth. By not chasing her, by not begging for her attention, you are demonstrating that your happiness, your fulfillment, and your life are not dependent on her validation. Your silence tells her, "I value my time, my purpose, and my peace." If you want to be a part of it, you must earn a place. When it comes to ignoring her call, the most important thing is your intention. You should never do it out of anger or as a way to punish her, because that only shows immaturity. Instead, if you are genuinely busy, it's perfectly fine to let the call pass and return it later when you are free. That small act already communicates that your time has value, and that you are not living on standby waiting for her. When you do call back, don't over-explain or give a long list of excuses. Keep it calm and simple. Something like, "I was occupied, what's up?" is more than enough. A man who stays composed and doesn't rush to justify himself shows strength. Women notice this. They notice the difference between a man who reacts with panic and a man who responds with calm. Another key point is to live in a way that naturally makes you less available. Not because you are trying to play games, but because your life is full. If you are building your career, improving your health, spending time with purpose, your attention will naturally be scarce. And when your attention is rare, it becomes more valuable. She will sense that when she calls you, she is reaching into the life of a man who already has direction, not a man who is just waiting for her to give his life meaning. The real lesson here is that you don't need to chase or force anything. If she wants to connect, she will. If she doesn't, you are already focused on your own path. By holding that mindset, you avoid desperation, and you replace it with self-respect, which is far more attractive in the long run. When she doesn't answer your calls or texts, it is not a sign of indifference. It's an unspoken invitation for you to show her your strength. So remember, when she creates this silence, it's not an attempt to reject you. It is a profound test of your own emotional discipline. And by choosing to be grounded in your own purpose, you pass that test every single time.